So a Jewish guy, an Arab guy, and an Asian guy walk into a bar. No, this is not actually a joke. This is the plot of the movie. We are talking Werewolves in Heat. And this is a 2015 low budget B movie directed and written by Lance Polland. So, what is the story? Now this movie you might think is going to be a schlocky horror movie. It's actually more like a kind of screwball comedy from the 80s. Think along the lines of Revenge of the Nerds or Porky's, but more talky and less things going on. With a coating of werewolves maybe. What is the story? Well, it focuses on these three guys, all of whom are virgins, desperate to get laid, and they decide the best course of action is to drive out to the desert, go in this biker bar and have a little bit of a party and try and score themselves some hookers. Unbeknownst to them, this bar is actually a front for some werewolves, and these hookers are in fact werewolves. So it follows these three guys who are planning this kind of big night out with these hookers. They meet a variety of characters along the way. Drug dealers, ex-military guys, rock stars, until inevitably the party with these hookers show up and they reveal themselves. What'll happen? I bet you're dying to know. You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So, let's discuss. So I should point out this is a very, very low budget movie. The only recognisable face for most, I would suspect, would be Ron Jeremy, who has this kind of a cameo role here, although he's kind of persona non grata these days. There are a couple of kind of B-movie actors and stuff who you may know from very low budget fare. What can I say that works in this movie? Surprisingly, this movie is somewhat inoffensive if you are a kind of an adult. There's not really anything too sort of controversial happening on screen, really, both, violence or sort of sex-wise. There's lots of boobies in it, if you like your boobies. There's a reasonable amount of boobies. In fact, the opening credits is, basically just a collage of different kind of strip teasers and things. And even through the movie, there's you get the odd lady stripping down and stuff. So, boobies on display. Check. The female cast are very attractive. I think these three guys are quite well cast as believable nerds, I will say. They kind of look genuinely like the characters maybe that they're portraying. So, kudos to the casting. The movie is primarily a comedy. Does it work on a comedic level? Mildly. There's some mildly amusing kind of scenes, I suppose. It's maybe a little bit titillating here and there. There's no horror in it. We'll talk about that. What I would say, this is a good movie, and this is the best thing I can say about this film. If you want a film just to put on in the background where you are doing stuff, while you're doing the ironing, while you're doing housework, or if you've got like a bunch of people around you, you just want some shit to put on the TV as background, this is that movie. This is a good movie to kind of put on because there's so little going on in this movie that you could just kind of put it on. You can watch like 2 minutes of it, go do something, and you've not missed anything. And that is maybe the best recommendation I would say for this film. What doesn't work? Right. Okay. So again, let's be fair and preface this by saying this is clearly a low budget movie, and I mean a really low budget movie. Okay, if we're being realistic, the main problem with this film is there's really not much going on in it. The movie is effectively a series of sequences where people are talking in rooms, and that's kind of it. You'll get the odd sequence, and it's not as much as you're going to think here of like a striptease or one of the female cast kind of stripping down, but not loads. There's too many sort of supporting characters. We have these three guys, and the bulk of the movie is these three guys meeting different people. The drug dealer, the rock star, the military guy. All of these supporting characters are completely superfluous. They add nothing to the movie in regards to plot. and are meant to be a really just a kind of set up for some type of joke, which I say is very mild. I mean, it's effectively like three horny guys talking about sex or drugs or something like that, and it's at best mildly amusing sometimes, but at worst it's just the sort of elongated sort of gags or jokes or air quote comedic sequences that just are visually very, very flat. It is a series of conversations in rooms where the director has just set the camera down and the actors have sort of started talking. There's no visual like panache, there's nothing really interesting on scene. It's just a series of people talking in rooms. Now the guys are well cast, the girls are pretty. I think the style of this 80s, you know, these nerds searching for kind of sex, you know, once upon a time that was a the plot of effectively every 80s comedy, but this is a 2015 movie, and even those movies had things going on screen. This one doesn't. It's just people talking in rooms, or if you like, maybe you'll get a conversation outside, and that's kind of it. Let's talk about the horror. There isn't any. Don't expect werewolves in this movie, because you ain't going to get them. You'll get, at the very best, a woman with a little bit of eye makeup, some pointy ears, and some claws. And that is your werewolf, people. That is your werewolf. You know, yes, you get some pretty girls. You get some kind of guys who look genuinely like geeks. It's the best thing I can say about it. But the movie has nothing else going on. There's no real budget for VFX. There's no real actual horror on it. The girls are pretty, and yeah, you get some kind of topless sequences, but I personally feel that's not enough. Google exists, people. Google exists. Like I said, this is a whole big nothing burger. The jokes aren't particularly kind of funny. They're drawn out. Yeah, very, very forgettable, you know, at best. I'll give it a 3 out of 10 because it's not overly offensive or anything. And like I said, if you just want some crap to put on when you're hosting some people, then maybe this will be a good for you. But I can't legitimately say it has much in the way of genuine positives. 3 out of 10. Werewolves in Heat, would you see it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.